Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash. It's your brother Malcolm. I'm coming at you with another lesson in truth. All right. Giving double honors unto the apostles who are my teachers and the leaders of all Israel on earth today, whether you receive that or not. Salutations to the Akim, my fellow workers who do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. All right, to the confusion of face Akim that are joined unto our ranks, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. All right, I was reading the book of Daniel last night, Daniel 7 chapter, and just trying to refresh. And, as you read, sometimes the Lord, gives you new insight or lets you see things you didn't see before. Just bring things to your remembrance, man, because you have more clarity. That's a heavy breakdown. I remember taking notes and studying and researching and double checking and rechecking and learning the secular history and then how the scriptures matches up to it, and then the scriptures match up to the things that happen in the future, because they were prophecy. They were telling you what was going to happen in the future, and it all breaks down, to the truth. So I'm just going to share a little bit of that with some of you people who are new to learning that you're an Israelite, and maybe refresh the memories of some of you who, who've been in this thing for a while, who've been following the elders, for some time. And I'm going to start at verse 11 in Daniel the 7th chapter. All right. It says, "And I beheld, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame." All right, because that beast is talking about NATO, and NATO is going to be destroyed, and the head of that beast is America, man, and it's going to be given to flame. And I'm going to give you a precept. I'm going to go to Revelation, the 19th chapter, because there's also another scripture in Revelation that said, hell is thrown into the lake of fire. So how can hell be thrown into hell? It makes no sense. All right, hell is a condition here on earth. All right, but this is Revelation 19 and 20. "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet, which wrought miracles before him," and that's all the technology of Esau, with his medicine, his witchcraft. All right, "which he had received them, and he had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone." All right, and anyone who takes that chip, man, that technology, which is the mark of a man, that's pursuant to Revelation the 13th chapter, and that man happens to be the Edomite, who happens to be the people who refer to themselves as Caucasian or white collectively. That's what it is. There is a nation of Edom here on earth, all right? Because according to the Bible and secular history, they're the ruling class people here on earth today as we approach the end. It's like the action shot in a movie, man. As the car is raging toward the cliff, and the other car or cars are chasing it, and the gun battle is pursuing, they're hanging out of the car shooting at them, and they're shooting back, and they're racing toward the cliff, and all of a sudden the movie, cuts and says until part 2. Well, we're in part 2, man, where it's gonna pick up right there. And everything is about to just start happening like crazy. It already is, because the Valley of Jehoshaphat is hot and it's popping off over there, man. The Valley of Yahweh's decision is happening, and everything else that leads after that is in the making, man. You keep having these false shootings all over America. You keep having a drill. Every time there's a drill being done, there's an event that follows it, man. All right. And it is what it is. Every time that there's a drill, there's an event that follows it. And that's where we are, okay? But let me read verse 14 now. Here's where it gets really interesting. It says, "And there was given him the dominion and the glory." The him is Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly, who have cognitive dissonance to refer to him as Jesus, when it is a simple thing to research the fact that the letter J is newly created and was introduced into the English language in the year of 1634. All right, making it impossible for God's name to be Jehovah or Jesus. But what do you hear people blurting out their mouths every day? Especially that damn Negro woman, man, who's the biggest enemy to Israel, to the men of Israel, and the biggest enemy to her own people. Collectively, not every one of them, but collectively. Is that one little bitty fact that I just gave you proves that that can't possibly be the name. All right? Proves it. But yet you're still going to have people who come against that. All right? But it says, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. So what does the word serve mean? Matter of fact, let me grab the dictionary off the shelf behind me. Let's check. Momento. All right, I have many dictionaries, but I like this old one. I have one that's actually older than this, but it's so damn big, it's ridiculous. I actually have the Oxford from the 1800s, but it's so big, man, and the words are so small. I actually have to use a magnifying glass to read it. But a lot of the definitions of the basic words that are used in the Bible are found in this encyclopedic edition of the Winston Simplified Bible, 1933. This one is. One of the younger brothers in my camp, one of the sergeants, actually has this Bible. He has a 1929. And this isn't a book, it's a weapon, man. Because a lot of these definitions that are in this book, Esau has changed them in modern day. If you pick up in 1989, 1990, 2000, a lot of these definitions are changed or removed, all right, because they're trying to hide that truth, man, especially when it comes to biblical things. And this has biblical references. But anyway, with that said, let's look up the word serve, because let me read it again. It says, and there was given him, that will be the Lord, dominion. Then we're going to look that word up too, and glory and the kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages. So that means all the other races, is making a separation between him and the other races. All right? Should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion. So we're going to look that word up again. That shall not pass away. And his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed. So once the Lord gets this dominion and everyone serves him, the Israelites, the elect, because the elect is clearly Israelites and not other people, because you people want to try to make the kingdom of heaven for all people. It is. Their positions are going to be different. There's going to be a ruling class people, and the other nations are going to be in a position of servitude. So we're going to look up dominion and servitude, okay? Dominion and servitude. And then we're going to continue with a few more scriptures, man. So, well, we're closer to servitude, so to S. So let's go ahead and look it up. We get out my highlight. I might want to highlight this definition. All right, it says, serve him, should serve him. So serve, all right, to serve. The first definition, and this is all I really need to read. It's from the Latin, severe, to serve, slave, to attend and wait upon, work for, be employed. Employee means slave. We tell you that all the time. Employment means you are a slave. Why? Because of the way the financial system is set up. All right? Because they're taxing, they're quadruple taxing you. Your money is taxed before you get it. Your money is taxed, and your money is taxed when you use it, and then you have to turn around and pay taxes at a particular group and you pay taxes every time you make a purchase. That's the way the super rich and the super elite in here in America has set it up. So it reads, we serve. First definition is from the Latin is slave. To attend, wait upon, work for, be employed by, as a domestic slave, hireling, etc. There it is, man. If you have a job, you are a slave to the bankers, period. You have that's what it is, man. If you can't understand that, you're just stupid. Okay? Let's look up dominion now. Okay? So it's saying that when the Lord comes, it's going to be slavery. He's going all the other nations that are not of the race that he's from. This proves that God doesn't love everybody. This creates, so you have to prove me wrong with scripture. And if you go to do that, you will not be able to. Okay? You will not be able to. Especially with the list of scriptures that I'm going to bring to substantiate what I'm reading, what I'm saying. Because the truth of the matter is, I'm not saying it. The Bible is. Your problem isn't with me. Your problem is with what the word says. And all you other heathens have had your blessing on this side. And this does not pertain to you. And we're fastly approaching that cliff where your time is up. And the dominion of the Lord is going to be shared with the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. That's found in Revelation, the 7th chapter, period. The rest of the people, as if you go to Isaiah, I believe the 40th chapter, around the 15th verse, you are as nothing. So you other billions of people are going to, that's why the kingdom of heaven is going to be so dynamic and so great, because all the other nations are going to build it up for free. The same way the Negroes built up, and the Latinos and the natives gave up their land and their resources against their will, and gave up their bodies for labor for free, and made America the wealthiest, most powerful country in the world. Okay? You're going to be forced to do the same thing. Dominion, all right? Right of lordship, supreme authority or control, sovereignty, rule, independent right of possession, all right? A territory or country with high degree of local authority, but subject to the control of another government, all right? And that's not the case, because all governments, all kingships, all authority is going to be given unto him, and the joint heirs are the elect. The elect are the seed of Jacob. This is all about Israel, all right, period. Okay? This is why they're trying to come against this truth so hard, call it a threat and blah, 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 you know? You damn Edomites, you know? And this is biblical. This is what the word is saying, not me, all right? Your problem is with, you're the one that's been lied to in them churches. Dr. Kim, Dr. White, Vocab Malone, you know? So let's get some precepts to substantiate what I just said. Let's go to Psalms 2 and 8, speaking on that dominion thing. Okay? Let's go to the book of Psalms. Right there at the beginning. And let's start at verse 6. I have set my king. Wow, this is perfect to Daniel 7 and 14. I have set my king upon my holy hill in Zion. I will declare the decree that Yahweh have said unto me, thou art my son, this day I have begotten thee. So I told you this was talking about Yahweh. This is a precept that was, all right, to Daniel 7 and 14. All right. This day I have begotten me, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen, all the other billions of people. All right. For thine inheritance and the uttermost parts of the earth for my possession. All right. Because when you read in Daniel, it tells you that the beast got dominion over the ancient world. All right. Proven that that the Esau got dominion over the ancient world, man. The fourth beast. That's also in the same chapter. All right. So he had, and it also tells you that the Israelites went into a land where never mankind had dwelt. So that couldn't have been. So that kills the notion that the Israelites fled into anywhere into Europe like that, like they're trying to say, because some of them did. But it talked about, and we're specifically talking about the northern kingdom. It said that the northern kingdom went into a land that mankind never dwelt, man. Well, man, the ancient world through Alexander, all right, the Edomites got dominion over the entire ancient world, man. The New World. That's why this was called the New World. That's why they called their new that's why they're calling their new thing the New World Order. All right. When Christopher Columbus sailed, that started the campaign to get control over the New World, because they knew they existed and they knew the Israelites were there, and that's the real reason why Columbus sailed. Columbus sailed with 5 Hebrew interpreters. He knew he was going to encounter people whose dialect was going to be Hebrew or some form of Hebrew. That's why he came with 5 Hebrew interpreters. Facts. Okay. Back to Psalms, the 2nd chapter. And yet I have set my king upon a holy hill in Zion. I will declare the decree that Yahweh hath said unto me, this day I have begotten thee, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possessions. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like the potter's vessel. The Lord is coming back to conquer and destroy. Why? Because they're going to try to fight him. Because the Edomites and the rest of the heathens are going to be in the midst of World War III, which is happening. And if you open your damn eyes, and it's just going to get worse. And in the midst of that battle, the Lord is going to come back. So that means time is close at hand, man. Because World War III has begun. The big nations are now at war with each other openly, and it's just going to escalate and get worse, especially as they begin to use all these different currencies and not the dollar in America, and Americans are going to begin to struggle. The riots soon come in America. That's why they're having all these false flag shootings, all these events, so that they can try to de-arm and take away the arms from all the citizens, and then they're move in on the citizens and control them. Because they know they're going to get met with heavy resistance because Americans have too many damn guns. So they want to try and take as many guns away, legal guns away as they can. All right? Especially from you veteran type people who can organize and actually shoot back and that sort of thing. They don't want people like that around. All right? This is Matthew 19:28. All precepts to Daniel 7:14, man. To the subject matter at hand. It's called precept upon precept. But one thing you church people do not understand and know about that. Read it in context. Shut up, dummy. Tell me what a precept is and then come back. Matthew 19:28. And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, the Son of Man shall sit upon the throne of his glory. What? Having dominion, rulership over all the other nations, man. All right. Ye also shall sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. It's as simple as that, man. Okay. The disciples are going to sit upon the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes. There's going to be an order, man. They're going to be in charge over the 144,000. All right? As simple as that. And King David is going to be among them. He's in that ranking structure. Third in under the command, and third, matter of fact, third in control of the whole universe, man, at that point. Because it's going to be Yahweh Shai, and King David, the 12 disciples, and the rest of the elect, the rest of the 144,000 are going to be the governing body for the whole universe, man. Simple as that, man. So all those billions of people, when things have to be done according to the law of the Bible, it's the 144,000 that are going to be the judges that go and visit them and proceed to give judgment on matters, man. That's that dominion. All right, and all the nations of the world are going to pay tribute. Food, gold, sustenance, whatever. Women, all that stuff, man. A kingdom. Okay? And that's why they hate us so, because they know this to be true. Not you everyday church going people, because you people are stupid and blind off Cesare Borgia, God love everybody juice. All right. Ignoring, having cognitive dissonance that there are two sets of Gentiles. They're the Gentiles who were Hellenized during the Grecian Empire, who are talking about Israelites who are taking on Greek identities and philosophies and ways of life, and those are the Gentiles that Paul was going to, not the Gentiles of the other nation. That's a different set of Gentiles. John 7 and 35, idiots. Okay. Next scripture is Matthew 28 and 18. Since we're in Matthew. And Yahushua came and spake unto him, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and earth. All power. And it said, and then when you get, and it said he's going to rule them in Psalms with the rod of iron. He's going to bash them to pieces. Why? Because some people are still going to try to resist his power. Look at how and then they'll say, well, color doesn't matter. Color doesn't matter. Well, when the Lord comes back and he doesn't look like what you say, that's going to be met with resistance. Why? Because people have been conditioned to color. Color is something that the so-called white man introduced. Even when he started calling himself white in 1681. That's another historical fact. Because prior to 1681, there was no such thing as white or black people. All right? That was a creation, created that color line thing, that false pseudoscience of Negroid, Mongoloid, and Caucasoid was created by the so-called white man to elevate himself, to push forth white superiority, which was pushed all over the world at that. And it actually started years before that with iconoclasm, when they started destroying all the dark images, which are all still in Europe to this day, which people want to ignore. They're still in Europe to this day. Of dark images of the Lord, dark images of Mary, dark images of the saints, dark images of the prophets, all right? They were found all over Europe, proving their presence there after the fall of Rome, proving that they were the ruling class people after the fall of Rome. They were the cause of the fall of Rome. But the so-called white man has hidden and covered up that history, and it's angry that it's coming out. Because it destroys their narrative, it destroys their lie. All right. Back to the scriptures. Revelation 2 and 26. And it reads, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end. All right, the works are what? Trying to keep the law to the best of your ability, man. Transgression of the law, all right, is sin. Sin is transgression of the law. So the law can't, and that's in 1 John. So you can't be a sinner unless you're transgressing the law, meaning the law still stands, people. All right? And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So he's going to share that power with the people of the Lord, man, not just with some heathen. The heathens have already been counted as nothing. And he already said that they can't come into the sanctuary of the Lord, man. All right? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Okay? It says, and as the vessels of the potter, they shall be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father. And it told you that he's going to receive them, control over them, because that's what the Lord is waiting on, to get his dominion, man. And he told you that in Psalms. All right? Let me check this precept before I call on it. Yep. Revelations 12 and 5. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all the nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto power and to his throne. All right. Until the Ancient of Thrones did come down. Going back to Daniel. It says, and I beheld to the thrones, Daniel 7 and 9. Beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was as white as snow, whose hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels a burning fire. That's what you call a UFO. A wheel spinning within a wheel with fire through the sky, man. That's what the Lord was sitting on. He was sitting on a mighty chariot, the chariots of Israel, and he came down and he brought his son and gave him power and dominion before all, man. It's as simple as that, man. That's literally what's happening here. And then it talks about the four beasts. The fourth beast is still in rulership. The one who was wounded but did not die, that was Rome. All right? Because through Rome, out of Rome came Britain, and out of Britain came America, man. All right? And American is an extension of Rome. That dragon that was wounded but did not die. All right? So let me go back to Daniel, and I'm just going to read Daniel 14 and 15, and then we're done here. And it says, and there was given him, this is Daniel 7 and 14, and there was given him dominion and the glory, next time I have to look that up, and the kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him, slaves, all right, proving that there's slavery in the Bible, Romans 13, 9 and 10, or 13 and 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Who led the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans into captivity? The so-called white man, who is Esau, Edom. Okay? It says, and there was given him dominion and glory and the kingdom, that all people and nations and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. And why? Because he saw the blood and destruction and the violence, man. The same way Ezra's got sick, man. All right? He was grieved when he saw it, because he saw the death and destruction of the saints, but then he also saw the vengeance of the saints, and it was so gruesome that it made him sick. All right? So with that, prepare yourself for change. Your glory and shame is being brought upon your glory, Esau. All right? Abad Babal.